Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on inside the house, bring yourself up a ringside seat, get your soda, your popcorn, your whiskey, get everything you need, because we got a new Grand Slam champ.
Absolutely. And while we're on that subject, everybody, when you're getting your whiskey, pour yourself a double, because apparently Marky Mark said he's here to party tonight. So pour yourselves a double on that shot.
I might just be happy of who our sponsor is.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
We're here to double promote tonight. So pour yourself a double, and then we'll get ready to go. We're going to talk some wrestling tonight.
So with our sponsor this week being Nearest Green Tennessee Whiskey, 84 proof.
168 proof for you, sir. 168 proof.
Yeah, that glass is just a little full tonight.
That's a double. When you come to the Bookers Alliance podcast and you say I'd pour me a drink, we always go for it.
Yeah, we go pour it. So cheers to the pour.
Cheers. Drink up.
Ooh. We'll have a long night.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Obviously, we're titling this episode Grand Slam Champ. Everybody seen Monday Night Raw. You probably know what this is in reference to. But before we get to that, we got to talk about Chelsea Green.
Oh, yeah. Chelsea Green picks up another title, and Julia gets buried in the process. Yeah, what are we doing here right now?
Julia got buried.
What are we doing?
First off, I'd like to apologize to Julia coming all the way from Japan for her WWE dream, and this is what's going on.
I mean, she lived it. She was champ for like 8 weeks or something like that. I mean, yeah, she lived it.
You know what I think happened? Honest to God, you know what I think happened? I honestly think either A, she was struggling in promos, or B, whatever they thought they were doing with Kiana Jade and her, it just ain't working.
Yeah, I think both are, you know how the people say two things can be true at the same time?
Yep. I
think two things are being true at the same time on that, because honestly, I barely remember Julia was the United States Women's Champ for a long time. I mean, when I'm going through my roster of champions, her name wasn't jumping off the page at me, right? Out of all the other champions, when you're thinking of women's champions, you got like Tiffany Stratton, then you got Jade Cargill. When Chelsea was the United States champ, I mean, that title was huge. It was a quote-unquote gimmick deal, because Chelsea's a more comedic relief than she is serious wrestler. But nonetheless, it was focused on TV a lot. Chelsea was a major player with that title. And when she lost it, when Julia picked it up, it kind of faded into the background of all the other titles in WWE.
Well, let's just face it, though, real quick. with the way that Chelsea's gimmick was working, they pulled the trigger too fast on getting that belt off of her, in my opinion.
100%.
The whole U.S. President Chelsea, the secret Hervis. Not to mention, she is the... she's now the AAA
she's
mixed tag champion with Ethan Page.
Yeah.
So
the North American champion, or I'm sorry, North American Canadian champion.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to keep going with the gimmick. I get it.
So why not put it back on Chelsea? Look, I'm not going to complain with it being on Chelsea. Chelsea's great to fulfill that role as far as being the comedic relief, the chicken shit heel. She's good at all of that. So putting it back on her, I just hate the fact that Julia it got buried.
She'll get over it. I mean, somewhere down the road they can figure that out.
Well, the problem that they got with Julia is they already have one. It's Asuka.
Yeah, I was going to say
that's the problem.
Well, it's also Io Sky. It's also Kairi Sane. I mean, so they could also add her right on into the Kabuki Warriors and just make that a three-way group again.
I think what they tried to do with Julia, unfortunately, is they tried to carry her gimmick over from New Japan.
Yeah.
And it didn't work in the WWE.
No, for the most part, most gimmicks like that don't, right? I mean, most carryovers don't carry over that way. You have to Americanize it for the American wrestling fan. It's just unfortunate, but it's true.
I think, so Her gimmick, though, being the strong style Japanese wrestling. Okay, Asuka, that's Asuka. The mask and the attire she was coming out wearing, that's Asuka.
Yeah,
she's got
too reminiscent. It's hard,
right? You've got to separate yourself and do something different.
Yeah,
and you can't really do the whole like. If you wanted to try the ninja or Mortal Kombat angle with her character, they did that with that other lady. I can't remember her name, but it didn't work.
The one that came out there with
swinging swords and crap. I mean, it didn't work.
No, so they've tried them all, and unfortunately, that's going to be the downside when you go overseas and recruit. And I mean, it's going to be that way for anybody when you start recruiting multiple people out of the same area or region, right? You're going to start getting carryover. You're going to start getting overlap gimmicks based on what's already in WWE, because people leave and then other people kind of step up and pick up the mantle. I mean, the gimmick works over there because they're not getting their Oscar over there no more. So they need a character to fill in that gap. Well, now when you bring that character over here too, now we got 2 Oscars. Well, we don't need 2 Oscars. So it turns into a little bit of a problem. So they got their hands full with, what we always talk about, the wealth dispersion over there. You got so many talents, so many, but only a few spots. So they're going to have to figure out where people fit and how they're going to make them relevant.
Sounds like you're talking about that good old bottleneck again.
Yeah, it always works. I mean, at the top, that's what happened. Julia was getting there. She was positioned to be one of the top contenders. Well, then Tiffany Stratton emerged, and then Jade Cargill hit the roster. And over on the other side, Stephanie Vaquer took us all by surprise, and she became a superstar like almost overnight. And I mean, there's only so much room for contenders, and everybody else just kind of has to fall in line somewhere.
So that's the magic that I think eventually they need to work themselves to. Is Julia's dance partner is Stephanie Vaquer. They faced off against each other a lot in New Japan. They have that chemistry in the ring, and eventually I think they got to get back there. They showed it and showcased it in NXT. But then we got to the main roster, and Stephanie went to Raw, Julia went to SmackDown, and they never synced up again.
No, I mean, they both achieved, a medium of success. But again, like you said, everybody's not going to mesh well with everybody else, and you just got to figure out a way to work them back into each other. If it ain't working for Julia where she's at, you got to put her with somebody that she could work better with. And if Stephanie's that person, then we got to find a way to get her over on Raw.
Yep. All right, let's move on to something else that happened on SmackDown. We had Drew McIntyre getting himself suspended,
costing us the match of the decade that we were watching there, that we were the first to break news on. We were the first to predict.
Yeah, as soon as this man crossed back into WWE territory, we were the ones that said, please, Hunter, put Aleister Black in the ring with Cody and let them finish what they started in AEW.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, if you want to elevate a guy, again, we're talking about breaking the bottleneck, right? We're talking about guys pushing through the quote unquote glass ceiling, the proverbial glass ceiling, the bottleneck that we always talk about. We're talking about these guys getting through. Aleister Black's a guy that can get through. I mean, he's got the talent. Apparently now they think he's got the gimmick. I mean, he's Karrion Kross 2.0. So they think he's got the gimmick. They think he's got the talent. And they're ready to get him up to that level. But you're not going to do it if you're not putting him in the ring, right? So you get him in the ring and let him go. And, of course, there was a smash finish because you don't want it. You're not going to let Cody lose.
You ain't giving it too soon.
Yeah, right. You ain't going to let Cody lose. There's no way in hell that's happening on TV. And you don't want to bury Aleister right away. So you got to have a smash finish. And I guess the way they did it works, but it was kind of wonky.
Yeah, I foretell that's not the last time those two are going to tangle. I also see that along the way, Aleister could be that Undertaker-ish foe to Cody, just like Undertaker was to Stone Cold. It's kind of that dark, mysterious kind of a character going up against your white meat babyface. I kind of see that happening. It is unfortunate that it was a smudge finish, but Drew came in. Obviously, Cody said he was done with Drew. He's moving on. Drew wasn't ready yet.
Nope.
Drew said, no, you going to get this Claymore.
Yep.
And
he gave that to the ref. Yeah, unfortunately, Cody didn't get any of that. The ref got that. And then, of course, we had to bring Damian Priest back to go back with Aleister Black because no way we couldn't just bring back old stuff. We can't just move on.
No. But after that fact, old GM there on SmackDown came in and suspended Drew, and Drew was like, for real, like, I'm just trying to get what is mine. It just wasn't happening, and it was what it was.
Yeah, so that's how that ended. That's pretty much what we got out of that. So.
Old Nick Aldis, he just kind of suspended him, and Drew kind of had to take it. We'll see where that happens. The truth of the matter is Drew had to get written off of TV somehow to go film Highlander.
That's what I heard, but apparently his agent said that isn't necessarily the case. That's supposed to be happening later on down the road.
It got pushed to January.
Yeah, so we'll see what song and dance they give us for the next couple of weeks. See if he wanders his way into a War Games match wanders his way back on TV around that time. We'll see.
Yep. All right, let's move on to actually what our topic was, Grand Slam champ. Let's move on to Monday Night Raw, originating from the TD Garden in Boston. Who's from Boston?
The Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics, yeah.
The Red Sox.
The Brewers?
Yeah, the Brewers. The Bruins, maybe?
Yeah,
Brewers
maybe.
are from Milwaukee, but okay.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, great. All right, let's move out of that segment. So let's get out of Bostonian sports.
I know who from Westbury, Massachusetts.
Oh, that West Newbury. Okay, so apparently that drink hadn't even really been tapped yet. So yeah, we're in trouble here, guys. I don't know how this show's gonna keep going, but we'll push on through.
I'm talking about the one, the only, John Cena.
He's definitely from there. So yeah, we got a homecoming, a grand homecoming, Grand Slam champion.
Triple H went into that ring.
Did you say Westbury, Massachusetts? That's where he's from now? All right.
Yeah, Westbury, Massachusetts.
Good. Shout out to Westbury listeners out there. We've just lost all of you. We're sorry.
So Triple H is in the ring. I don't know what he's attempting to do. It was out of the blue, him being in the ring like that.
Steel Thunder is what I felt like
he was self-promoting himself.
There was no reason
there.
for him to be out there. John Cena didn't need an introduction to his damn hometown.
Just play the music.
That's the only place John Cena would. When we go to Singapore, when we're in Budapest, and we're Triple H nowhere to be seen. John Cena just gets his music played, and then they do the entrance deal. When he comes home, Triple H is like, well, I better introduce him now. Make sure these guys know who he is.
He objectively, not once, not twice, but 3 times said he objectively looks at Cena as the GOAT.
Yeah, objectively. Right. The objection being that he wants to be that guy, but why not?
I think somebody sitting on the board of directors might have something to say about that.
I'm pretty sure they do. So, and that's probably why we didn't get any other references on that. It ended where it ended.
Yep. So Triple H introduces John Cena. John Cena comes down, thanking the fans. He gave us some presents. He left us with some pretty cool things that were happening. The first thing that he talked about was, his final night on Saturday night's main event. It's going to be a showcase, exhibition matches amongst the great stars of WWE, Raw and SmackDown versus NXT for exhibition matches.
Exciting.
Exciting
Information to hear that. That was a stunner.
Yeah, so it's going to be a whole night of WWE versus NXT.
Great. I'm all for that. Give me. So, well, wait. Let me rephrase. Not all for that, because I want one particular NXT person to be a main roster person by that point and beat John Cena. But
did you watch NXT?
I did not.
Sorry,
I did not watch that. So.
Sorry, there was a surprise visitor at the tail end of NXT last night.
Ugh. Great. I didn't get a chance to watch that yet. I was trying to put it off because I wanted to be able to give it its due time.
They could be pouring water on the situation. They could be.
I could see that.
They could be, taking us left when they want to go right.
I could definitely see that.
But yeah, at the end of that Trick Williams and Ricky Saints match, Oba appeared
and did what?
Just stood in the entryway.
That's cool. So I could get down with that because I also think Trick's gonna. So who won the match?
Ricky.
Of course. So I also see Trick going to the main roster too. So yeah, I don't.
And it was a hell of a match, by the way.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to watch it that way because I got tied up yesterday, and then I didn't want to do one of those. Let me watch it while I'm at work thing because it would just be in the background for background noise. So I was like, I got to give it its dedicated time. So I don't want to watch it now, but hold off to like Thursday when I can sit down and settle in and watch it. The only problem is it affects when we do this show.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to take away from what our prediction is because. I mean, like you said, pouring water on it. They got a month before we get to that point still because we've got eight singles matches.
We got 2 mystery opponents that are now.
Yeah, we got 2 mystery opponents, but we still got 4 other opponents that we haven't even heard of yet. So easily either one of those or both of those guys could be those guys. So yeah, I don't see that derailing anything.
So John Cena's out there telling his thanks to the crowd, pouring his heart out, and then who comes down to interrupt him? Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, I heard internet marks all over the world say, I heard groans from everywhere like, no, they predicted this already. There's no way this is going to actually happen.
Dirty Dom.
But as he was walking out there, I'm like, so there's no way this ain't going to happen. Right. I'm like, he didn't come out here for nothing, right?
Yeah, so he comes out there disrespecting Hunter, disrespecting John. John done told him, look, any other night you would get a pass, but at this time, I'm invincible.
I mean, which is like every other night.
Every other night.
I don't know why he, right, I don't know why he particulated for this night. I'm like, what about every other night?
That was Gold Digger Cena. That's who.
Yeah, no kidding. Right? I'm like, this could literally be any other night. I don't know why you're calling it this particular.
So now Dom did tell him any night, anytime, any place. He did tell him that.
Any
but then,
era.
I
don't know what that meant, but that was strange that he.
And
said
then Hunter said, this seems like a good era, and then got no pop.
No, not at all. And
got no pop.
And I felt like when he said it, I
was
thought
the Triple H
he was trying
era.
to go into the Helmsley era, that Stephanie brought, the Levesque era.
No pop.
Yeah, nobody caught on to that. So either the joke was way over Boston's head or nobody cared.
Nobody cared. So obviously Hunter made the match right then, right now, that era. They get into the match, and of course, classic John Cena match. Sells his ass off for the whole damn match. Can't put together no offense. And even if he does, the offense is not effective. Gets to the end, takes 2 finishers from Dominic Mysterio, and then turns into Super Cena.
Roll through it, A8 his ass right through the mat. I'm like, what the hell are we? Okay. So under any other circumstances, I would have been like, damn, can we bury him anymore, right? Because that would have been horrible. But there's no way Dom gets buried in this.
No.
So in
Dom,
the long
at this
run,
point,
it is fine.
Dom at this point, especially in Boston, Dom was Teflon. Whatever them people were going to throw at him wasn't going to stick.
No, I mean, and the minute he interrupted Cena, he was the automatic, ultra heel. He was bad.
The crowd played their part.
Exactly. Everybody understood the assignment. Yep. They all knew what their role was in that. Dom's interrupted. Cena's going to win. It's going to be great. We're going to pop like hell, blow the roof off, hanging from the rafters, as Gorilla used to say. Yep. And we got all that. So I'm down for that. I'm not against that.
Classic Eddie Guerrero moment in the match as well, especially John gave us a new gif with him winking like he did.
Yeah.
So obviously, though, coming out of the match, John Cena is your new Intercontinental Champion, giving himself the title of Grand Slam Champ.
Yep.
Finally.
A title that The Miz has had twice now.
Yeah, finally. After 23 years of in-ring career.
Why not, right?
Why not?
Keep pushing, and all of a sudden. So let's look at a little bit of history right here. From, let's say, I don't know, 2017-ish, somewhere in there, till 2023-ish, Cena wrestled a handful of matches. Couldn't win one of them. Nope. Lost every single one of them.
Yep.
In his final year back, somehow or another, he now older, more rust, all the above. Somehow or another, he finds a way to win both the IC and the world title in this run.
I will say, you might say more rust, but that dude was shredded Monday night. He looked the best that he's looked since he's been back.
Well, that's not true, because he had 0 tan. So, I mean, and we all know.
It don't matter about the tan.
We all know from those of us who watch wrestling in the 80s and the 90s, if you ain't tan, you ain't winning.
Yeah, so he wins the match, celebrates, the crowd, even teased a little bit of putting the title on backwards at the end, and he was like, nah, we're going to do this the right way. Put it on the right way. So, John Cena, your new Intercontinental Champ and the latest Grand Slam Champ.
Absolutely. So congratulations, John.
Congratulations, John.
You know what a good transition after talking about John Cena to move into would be?
Nikki Bella.
Absolutely. Why not? Let's talk about
Talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
So we had Stephanie Vaquera coming out and going up against what's her name? Raquel
What are we doing here?
Rodriguez.
This is gonna be a long episode, guy. How deep are we into this episode? 12 minutes? Holy shit!
Coming out there with Roxanne, it was the R's. The R's got me.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
you want to call her Raquel
Rodriguez, or Roxanne Rodriguez.
Why not?
So coming out there, and Nikki obviously had to come out there with Stephanie for support. We all knew that this heel turn was coming. We just didn't know that it was going to happen Monday night.
No, but after you look back through it, I probably should have figured it out. Because, I mean, John Cena's hometown, John Cena's ex. I mean,
right.
What better way to, to generate heel heat than to put her in the place that she's probably hated most?
Mm-hmm.
So, I get it.
So, with Stephanie winning the match, Nikki gets in there. It looks like she's going to congratulate her, hand her the title, but instead, whacks her in the head with the title.
Yeah.
Nikki pulling the famous Bella heel turn, ripping the red shirt off for the black shirt.
Uh-huh. And the fans gave her a little lip service on the way out. And did you hear what they were chanting to her?
Yeah.
Well, Cena left you, and she said, now I'm really a heel, because now I'm really pissed off. I'm like, yeah, well.
So we all knew that was coming. Where this goes,
dodged a bullet.
Where this goes, unfortunately, this is going to be a women's title match at Survivor Series.
And probably so, but no way Nikki wins.
No,
right? Like,
absolutely not.
So in any world, is there an era where Triple H decides, we're going to go back to his heyday and he's going to crown all the former champions from his heyday? You got Cena, you got Nikki Bella. I don't know where Becky Lynch and all them fit in that, but is there any chance that Nikki Bella gets the W for one last run as world champion? Okay.
Zero chance.
All right. I'm down with that because, don't get me wrong. I don't mind looking at her. Now, you're never going to get me a complaint. You're never going to get a complaint out of me. When Nikki comes to the ring, when she ripped that little shirt off, I'm like, yeah, get it, girl.
The only way that she wins that belt at Survivor Series, and I'm just going to go ahead and book it at Survivor Series, is if we get Twin Magic.
Yeah. So, no, if that happens, I feel like they'll definitely lose because if Brie botches another dive out of the ring or something like that, she may never survive.
Yeah, she might not survive.
Right. At that point, Stephanie would just have to pin her by default. So, hopefully we don't get that.
Yep.
Besides, isn't that other one married to an AEW person? Yeah, we're done with
we potentially forecasted to come back last week as the dream final opponent of John Cena.
Yeah, so if that does happen, then he can bring the ball and chain with him, right? If it doesn't happen, then you keep their asses keep it right down south.
All right, quickly though, we want to talk about the John Cena tournament, the rounds that happened Monday night. You had Rusev versus Damian Priest, with Rusev coming out on top.
Yep.
We predicted that.
Yeah, I mean, because from what Lana said, apparently Damian's a bottoms.
Yep, so you never know.
Yep, so that about sums that up.
And cheers to that, sir.
All right.
Why not? All right, moving on. You also had Sheamus.
Tunnel buddies.
You had Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura, with Sheamus coming out on top. Again, we forecasted that.
Yeah, because again, foreigner.
Yeah.
I mean, Triple H booking, you got a guy from the country, yeah. Not to say Sheamus is from the country, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
So we got some interesting rounds coming up on this week on SmackDown. Got a mystery opponent.
Yeah, we do got a mystery opponent.
And then you got Javon Evans that is also in the tournament.
Yeah, against damn Gunther. What are we doing here now? I mean,
we know where that's going to go.
Right. So in round one, are we not putting any effort forth? Right. We're not trying at all. Nope. We just said, you know what? We just got to get some bodies out there. So Gunther coming back after a long hiatus, after most recently being the world heavyweight champion, we think he's going to lose to the NXT kid?
Yep.
Great.
So I will say,
love the booking for the NXT guys. I wonder how that's going to go.
I will say, once we get through this first round, so we got another round next week from Madison Square Garden, right?
Yeah.
So
that'll be a big one, I think.
So we've got, if nobody comes out of next Monday Night Raw and next SmackDown that's bigger than Gunther in my mind is going to take the whole tournament.
I don't know about that because I feel like Gunther being introduced in basically the first SmackDown, there's got to be bigger surprises coming, and I don't see bigger surprises coming to just job out. At least not all of them.
Okay. All right, so that's the update on the tournament. We also had a tag team title change.
Tag team turmoil.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Twisted Queens lost to the Kabuki Warriors.
Oh well. So does that end that gimmick, or do you see more in their horizon?
Actually, got a lot to talk about on this one.
Oh, great.
So I think it ends the gimmick, unfortunately.
Oh, God. So Alexa and Charlotte are gonna wrap it up here real soon.
I think it was foretold to us last week.
Okay.
With the tease, Charlotte trying to chase down Jade.
Yeah, so I thought that's where you were going to go with that. And don't get me wrong, we've hinted at thinking that was going to be good before. But I'm gonna be honest, with as hard as it was for Jade to get over Tiffany, and as rough as some of those matches were, I'm not necessarily sure Jade and Charlotte are ready to get
in no shape form right now should Jade Cargill beat Charlotte Flair. It's just not, even though Jade is the champ.
Yeah, so it shouldn't happen alternatively either, though. I mean, you don't put the belt on a champion like Jade as a transition.
You don't need them to tangle right now.
That's what I mean. That's
and I feel
problem.
like
if they start leading towards wrestling each other, somebody's got to win, and it's a bad time for either one of them to lose.
I feel like what they're waiting on is to see if Bianca can come back.
So I think still that's going to be your WrestleMania match with Jade. I feel like we're going to see Bianca back at Royal Rumble. I mean, because she only had a hand injury, right? Nothing that would have kept her out for an entire year.
I've been reading some scuttlebutt about the whole Rumble and surprise entrance.
Okay.
So a lot of people are saying that the reason why that there is a kind of a Saturday night's main event happening before the Rumble, is because all of these surprise entrants that are waiting in the wings to come back. How do you keep a surprise for Riyadh? How do you, all of that travel that surprise has to do to get over there? How do you do that? There's really not a good way to keep under wraps who's traveling.
Yeah, it's going to be funky because there's going to be reporters. There's going to be, there's no way to really shield anybody that long. I mean, it's got to be damn near a week.
And they go over there a week before. So, I mean,
so
how do they
they're
do
going to
it?
expose all the surprises, or at least the majority of the surprises at the Saturday night's match?
I think they're going to get them out of the way early.
Yeah,
I don't think there's going to be that many surprises this year in the Rumble, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that makes two shit ass pay-per-views that they're going to send overseas over the next couple years, because I feel like the same thing's going to happen with Mania next year.
Yeah,
not because the event's going to be bad, but who's going to be there, right?
The only way that I could see them trying to kind of make the surprise returns is to keep the return but take the surprise part away.
Yeah, you could do
We all knew Charlotte was coming back at the Rumble.
Yeah,
there was the vignettes before then.
Point.
Yeah. I mean, the latest surprise that we had in the Rumble was Alexa. Nobody kind of really knew.
She was fresh when she came back this year.
Yeah. So I don't know how that they're going to keep the surprises for Riyadh.
Yeah, doing that's definitely going to have an impact on there, because, I mean, I guess the only option, you could fly over late. Like, obviously the rest of the team is going to travel over there probably, Tuesday after Raw, right? Most of them are going to leave and spend a whole week there. If you've got a surprise it's that big, like, let's go off the rails here and say like a Britt Baker or something like that, right? If you got something that huge, then maybe she travels on Friday, right?
Or they're not going to travel into Saudi. They'll travel somewhere in Europe.
Same different, but that's what I mean, right? You travel differently. You don't travel with a group. You do something completely different. And then, I mean, upside with the time change and all that, she could actually leave here in the middle of the afternoon on like a Friday and be there right in time for the Saturday event for their time, right?
Right.
Because it'll be 8 o'clock in the morning, so it would be not a great situation, but I mean, that could possibly happen. Like I said, you leave Friday afternoon. By the time you land in Riyadh, it's technically wrestling time. So, I mean, you get off the plane, you probably got like an hour prep time, and then you go out there and wrestle. You could probably pull off something like that if it's not a contracted, not a known TV talent.
Right.
But who all's going to do that, right? That you've got to be a hell of a special talent to go through all that extra effort.
They may be able to pull it off. You never know, but I just think the probability of it is low. I just don't see
Upside, though, if somebody does do what I just laid out, nobody will know about the spoilers because they'll get on the internet at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And no one will be awake to read them. So
True. So the tag belts changed hands Monday night. Kabuki Warriors are your new women's tag team champions. They got that way because of some interference between Nia Jax and her new teammate, apparently, Lash Legend.
Wow.
So apparently,
interesting timing to be buddying up with a bunch of people.
Yeah, they're booking them in a tag team. Nia almost had her own set of tag teams that kind of presented themselves out of.
Apparently, Charlotte had that on SmackDown last week, too.
So
this must be a running thing.
theme right now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you can do that a while.
They're like, wait, hold on. Viewership's under 1 million on SmackDown.
Let's
we'll
figure
get
out how to get
viewership
this
back
up.
We'll get the viewership back up to double D territory.
So Asuka and Kairi got the win over the Twisted Queens. That allowed the 4-woman beatdown on Charlotte and Alexa. Here comes little Io Sky coming out there thinking she's going to make a difference. Then you have Rhea Ripley coming out there with the mask on because
coming out from the woodworks, apparently.
Obviously, she's broke her nose, and that's why she's been off TV.
Why wouldn't Rhea be injured going into a big pay-per-view
Right.
where she's going to main event have to kind of wrestle through it?
So she gets out there. They clear the house, so to speak, leaving the faces standing in the rings, and then Rhea says the word of all words. War Games.
Well, that makes sense because you got to have a British type accent to say it. So that makes sense. Only she could say it.
So you got looks like your women's War Games match is shaping up between Charlotte, Alexa, Io, and Rhea versus the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, Lash Legend. Could there be a 5th member added to each team?
There could always be a 5th member. I mean,
I'm going to put my vote in early. Here's my vote. You got Becky Lynch going with the heels. You got AJ Lee going with the faces.
I got 4 words. I got 4 letters for you. 1 word. Yuck. Ugh, God. Please don't find a way to
I just see it happening.
Go with 4-member teams is fine. Stick with what works.
I just see it happening.
Unfortunately, I've heard rumors circulating about that on the men's side too, but it looks like we've got a little bit of framework going on the men's side too.
On the men's side, CM Punk came out there just calling out Logan Paul.
Okay.
Logan Paul appears and tried to trash talk CM Punk. Obviously, Logan just forgot who CM Punk was.
Yeah.
So
Logan Paul.
Yeah. So Logan officially announces that he's part of the Vision.
All right.
Comes out and says that
he's Seth's replacement.
He's
definitely a heat magnet. So you got to give him that. I mean, nobody likes him, so he's got that going for him.
Absolutely. So you got those 3 men walking down to the ring with CM Punk standing by his lonesome, and then CM Punk all of a sudden has some backup. And who is the backup? The Yeet Man.
Yeah, from nowhere, right?
From nowhere.
No music, and I think they did that for that whole no music thing because they're like, well, shit, if Jay has to go out there and do the whole Yeet thing.
It's going to break it up.
Yeah, and then it'll be blown up by the time he gets out there, so he won't be able to do the run-in. So I guess they were like, let's just scratch that, and then he just gets out there. Yep. Plus, can't get off the screen without playing Cody's music because I mean, white meat babyface.
Yeah, you gotta have the
got to play his music.
Right.
Can't have 2 music playing.
Right. So you have Cody making the rundown too. So you got 3-on-3. And then
got the World Heavyweight Champion, the WWE Champion, and Jey Uso against the Vision.
So then you got a backstage segment going on with them talking about potential team, and then somebody says, "Oh, team? Are we talking about what I think we're talking about?" And he says, Mr. Regal, if you would, please.
Yeah, because I mean, why wouldn't
you have Regal? Right? If Regal's available, he has to announce
it. You can't get away with War Games without him doing
so
it.
the camera pans over to Regal and War Games. He just comes in. He's like you remember the little guy that used to jump in from the corner on Mortal Kombat and went, ooh.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's Regal.
There you go. Yeah, he pops in when needed.
It's War Games.
Gets his line in and then gets away.
Yeah, so you got a 3-on-3, obviously. If we booked 5-on-5 for the women,
War Games, huh?
If we booked 5-on-5 for the women, who are we gonna book 5-on-5 for the men?
Well, we gotta get to 4, don't we? I mean, we're right now we got a 6-man.
We gotta get to 4. We got 4.
We got 6-man. Hell, we gotta at least get to 4 before you jump to 5. Jesus.
All right, on the heel side, who you got? Who you pulling in? It's easy one.
I was going to say the heel side. I mean, you really can't get away with not having Brock Lesnar at this point, right?
Yeah,
because I mean,
Paul's going to bring Brock.
We talked about this last week. I mean, this is a no-brainer.
Yep.
No way Paul and Brock didn't have that little, coagulation a couple.
He
weeks
even told
ago.
Paul, we should talk.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then he did the entrance form and all that. No way you have those two coagulating and you're not going to use it for something. You're going to be running.
Is that what Vanilla Ice told us to do? Stop, coagulate, and listen.
No, that was corroborate.
Okay,
that's
what?
Corroborate.
Corroborate?
Yeah, you got to corroborate. Y'all don't know that word in the South?
It ain't collaborate?
Collaborate? No, that's collaborate. So it's corroborate. Got to go with corroborate.
Corroborate.
Yeah.
Okay, corroborate.
Yeah, we'll go corroborate.
Stop, corroborate, and listen.
There you go.
Okay, all right. We Vanilla Ice this episode.
I mean, I guess.
So, Brock getting in, I can see who you got on the face side.
I mean, so we brought it up last week. If you're bringing Brock in, there's only one other person that's even equivalent, that doesn't lopside the thing completely, and it's Roman.
Are you talking about a tribal chief, right?
Yeah, but so maybe not, right?
So we're just gonna have the Avengers.
I mean, essentially,
against the Vision.
I mean, right? That makes sense though, because that's kind of like Vision Quest. That show's coming up next year. So I mean, this may be a little prelude to. But so I take back what I just said now. So while I do think Roman is that guy, I do think that he will be on this team some way or another. I don't think they have to introduce him next. Because if you go with Brock, I mean, right now, at this stage, you can go with Cena. You can get Cena in there because that's before his end game.
I think Cena will be a part of War Games.
I think that would go better with the Brock Lesnar because we just recently saw Brock. The last time we saw Brock, we saw John.
Right.
So I feel like, and we know Brock's going to be at Madison Square Garden, right? We're not doing New York without Brock.
Right.
And obviously, John's going to be there. Don't know if Roman's going to be there because Roman said he didn't want to see none of them dudes until Christmas.
If we go 5 faces, I know who the fifth.
If we go 5, I think we got to get Roman in there at that point.
I don't think it's Roman.
You think John's in there without Roman?
I do.
With who?
Mr. L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. See, unfortunately, I think the bottleneck got the best of him. I think he's out of that top tier thing. I feel like Cody actually took his spot in War Games.
You think so?
Now. Yeah. I feel like that was the spot that they were doing with him, but I think I think LA Knight's out.
So wait, you're telling me that we're gonna get Punk, Cena, Roman.
Don't say Roman yet. So Punk, Cena, Jey Uso.
Cena, Jay, Cody, and Roman.
So again, I still don't know if we get Roman. Why don't we get Jimmy?
But I'm just saying, if it's those 5,
yeah. Then it's your Justice League at that point. Now you've outranked the Avengers.
How the hell do the Vision, even with Brock, expect to win that?
Because it's Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is Thanos, right? Thanos beat the whole Avengers team in
now you're making a case for me to actually want to see this.
Yeah, right. Thanos beat the whole Avengers team in Infinity War, right? So that means he could come out there with his gold gauntlet on, and he could erase half that team, right?
Half.
And leave only like Jay and and Punk and all the rest of them are gone forever. So and plus we got to get the end game somewhere or another. That could be anywhere down the road, but. Right. If anybody could beat that super team, because like I said, that team that we just said with those 5 people, they're not the Avengers anymore. They're now the Justice League. They are the top tier of superheroes. But still, if that's the case, then Brock Lesnar's dark side, right?
You pissing off a lot of Marvel fans. Are you saying Justice League is better than the Avengers?
If you go line by line, you'll say the same thing.
Ooh.
We might have to do an extra episode for an upcoming week.
A non-wrestling topic episode.
I'll give it 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes that we can spare on this. Let's talk turkey here.
Let's talk about it.
Right. Are we going to say the Avengers are the top tier Marvel superheroes that they have?
Are we talking about money draw?
I'm talking about powers and whatever in the hell they added super.
All right, so who would you classify as your 5 original Avengers? Who would you classify?
I can't do original. I'm talking about.
I'm just talking about who would be your 5 strongest Avengers?
I don't know. Not the 5 that we got. So just from what I remember in comic books, right? I don't remember
Thor, Hulk, Captain America.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
Iron Man.
No. So growing up, I don't remember Iron Man being a top tier superhero. He was more like a B-list superhero.
Who else was you gonna put in there? Black Widow?
No, she's like a C-list superhero. That's what I'm saying. When you're looking at
Captain Marvel?
Probably, power-wise, Captain Marvel would definitely have to get in there. But that's what I'm getting at, right? When you start thinking of superheroes, we're struggling to get to 5 for Marvel's top tier, right?
Okay, so Justice League, flip it. Who Justice League?
Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Flash. Do I need to go on? I gave you 5. Do you want 5 more?
So take away Batman's toys, and how does he win?
Then he's Iron Man.
Okay,
so
pull Kryptonite in against Superman, and what do?
Then he's Thor without his hammer. I mean, you can defeat all of them, but obviously if they were undefeatable, then they're not superheroes.
So how do you defeat Thor?
John Cena.
How do you defeat Thor?
How do you take away his hammer? He loves his hammer.
No.
Yeah, if he doesn't have his hammer,
Thor can shoot lightning bolts at you without the hammer.
Show me what he did it against Hela. What happened there? Hela whooped that ass, every bit of that ass. She took
so we
no
turned
prisoners.
Wait, y'all. We went from a wrestling podcast to a nerd podcast.
We're only for 2 minutes, so we got like a minute left.
Got a minute left.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying then definitively Justice League over the Avengers.
I'm saying you take your top 5 Justice League members versus the screen-tested Avengers, and yeah, it's Justice League all day long.
Ooh.
You know this the same as I do.
Actually,
even the Justice League we got in the movie, so Aquaman, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Superman. Even take Batman out. If you got the 5 I just listed, they still beat the 5 screen-tested Avengers.
Actually, I think without Superman, if you can take Superman out, the Justice League is nobody.
Well, hell, if you take Superman out, comics are no more. At that point, no one cares about any of it anymore.
All right, we got to get back to wrestling.
Okay.
We got to get back to wrestling.
All right, we got 1 minute for wrestling now.
All right, so War Games. So if we're booking a 5th heel, who are we booking? 5th heel.
Probably Drew.
Drew?
I mean, there's no other top
breaking
tier
suspension?
Guy. Yeah, I mean, that suspension will have run out by then. 3 weeks in WWE lore is way more than what we're used to. You know, usually suspensions go for like an hour.
Right.
But, I mean, who else would be top tier enough that has a beef with Cody and his gang than Drew?
True. I don't know anybody else but Drew.
No, I mean, Cody, he has a beef with Cody. He has a beef with Jay. He has a beef with Roman. He's got enough going on in there that he could jump in that and definitely be that guy.
I will say, I've never seen John Cena in a War Games. I kind of really want to see that.
Yeah. I mean,
just to see him.
What a good way
there.
To go out, right?
Right.
You know.
But you got to protect him like hell because you cannot let him go down to injury right now.
No, I mean, yeah, that would be the worst case scenario because then at that point he's got to push through.
Yeah,
because we're not going to foul up the dates.
You're going to
screw up the tournament. So yeah, you got to push.
You're going to have tennis ball elbow John out there.
Yeah, I mean, right. You just wrap it up,
keep moving.
Yeah, tape it up, slap some dirt on it, kid. Get out there.
All right, so we're talking about a Grand Slam champ. Once again, congratulations to John Cena, new Intercontinental Champion, first ever Grand Slam champion for somebody that's on a retirement tour.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you think about all of this with John Cena? What do you think is going on? How do you think the last few months, have shaped up, and how do you think it's all going to end? I think we got a good ride. We got an interesting ride coming.
It's going to be interesting. I don't know how good it's going to be because I feel like they could have gave a lot more time and dedication to War Games and Survivor Series. I feel like we're 3 weeks out and they just remembered like this week, oh, hell, we got to book something.
I blame that all on Travis Scott.
I think it's all Triple H.
So with that, everybody,
I feel like there's too many minorities in this War Games.
With that, everybody, thank you for listening to today's episode. Drop us a line on our social media platforms. Reach out, tell us what you like, what you don't like. Hey, again, you might put your input out there, but it don't mean you're right because we the Bookers Alliance.
Got that right.
Thank you, everybody, and with that, we bid you adieu.
Peace. Now, let's talk about Wonder Woman.
Today's podcast was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.